we just climbed up to the highest point in Edinburgh. It's called Arthur's Seat, and it's about 250 meters high. And it was a beautiful climb. You can see all these wildflowers surrounding us. We have an amazing day. It's sunny, not too cold, a little bit breezy, but not bad. It's a little bit breezier once we get up to the top there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had to shed a few layers on the way up because I got pretty warm.
Yep.
But once we got up there, it was gorgeous, totally worth it. And it's such a pretty day.
Oh, it is. It's amazing.
Today is May 6th, and it's a perfect temperature to be out here.
We are Scott and Cassandra from the United States and Cayman Islands, showing that deep travel connects us with places and people around the world.
We are the Forever Explorers.
A couple of hours before that wonderful moment, we had just arrived at a bus stop near Holyrood Park, the vast 640-acre royal park just east of the Old Town near the Palace of Holyroodhouse at the east end of Edinburgh's Royal Mile. We arrived here via a hop-on, hop-off tour bus through Edinburgh Bus Tours after purchasing the 48-hour Royal Edinburgh Bus Tour ticket that would allow us to easily get to sites throughout the city. Our first glimpse of the mountains in the park was breathtaking. The mountainsides were covered with beautiful yellow flowering shrubs, and we will take a closer look at these when we climb up to where they are. It was about a 15-minute walk along a gently sloping and nicely maintained path to get to the point where we felt like we were really starting to climb up the mountains. The entire way we had gorgeous views of the amazing landscape, including a view of the highest peak called Arthur's Seat, where we would eventually be standing. At this point, it was difficult to imagine ourselves way up there, especially as we made our way closer to the base of the mountains.
Just before starting to climb steeply up, we came to a beautiful lake called St. Margaret's Loch and saw a few swans swimming in the water there. Overlooking the loch are the ruins of the mysterious St. Anthony's Chapel. The history of this building is unknown, but it might have been built in the 1300s or earlier, and then fell into disuse and disrepair after the Reformation in 1560, a political and religious revolution that replaced Roman Catholicism with Protestantism in Scotland. Climbing steeply upward now, we finally have a close-up view of the yellow flowering shrubs. The flowers are beautiful and fragrant, but the plants have very sharp, needle-like leaves, so we were always careful to avoid brushing up against them. We were wondering what these gorgeous flowers are named, and we found out it's called Gorse, and they actually bloom from January to June. And I wish I could let you smell it. It actually smells a little like vanilla or a coconut smell. But it is beautiful, and to know that it's here for like 6 months in the year, that's just gorgeous.
Gorse is beautiful, but besides the sharp spines, it does have an unfortunate characteristic. When the plants are dry, they are highly flammable, and during droughts, the gorse can contribute to wildfires in this park and elsewhere. You may have seen in the news recently that there have been fires near Arthur's Seat, and the first one of the spring occurred shortly after we were here. We were sad to see this in the news, and although fires have always occurred here periodically, they've been more frequent in recent years, at least partially due to climate change and warmer, drier conditions. Wild gorse adds so much beauty to this landscape though, and it is ecologically beneficial, providing important protective habitats for small birds and mammals, fixing nitrogen to improve the quality of soil, providing abundant nectar for bees and other pollinators, and helping to stabilize the soil on mountainsides, reducing erosion. Because it burns quickly and produces little ash, gorse has historically been used by humans to fuel bread ovens across Britain. And wow, it makes this hike up Arthur's Seat spectacular.
The trail up the mountain is very well maintained, and rocks have been strategically placed in many locations to function as steps, making it a bit easier to climb the moderate inclines. At this point, we still have a long way to go, and the steepest part is still ahead of us. But we already have incredible sweeping views of mountains, valleys, the city of Edinburgh, and the large bay called the Firth of Forth, which is an inlet connecting the North Sea with the River Forth. We were finally coming to the end of the first large section of the climb, reaching the top of the large flat plateau where we had amazing views to the north and east. This is a favorite photo spot where many people hang out for a while before either making the final climb to the peak or deciding that this view and climb is enough for them and then making their way back down to the bottom. We stayed here for a little while, taking in the spectacular views and appreciating how far we have already climbed to get to this point. But we weren't done yet. It was time to make the final climb to the peak of Arthur's Seat. The first part of this trail section has plenty of large rocks for traction, and a handrail made of secure chains is there to help people unsure of their footing or if the weather turns windy or rainy.
Near the top, however, we had to take one of several potential paths to get past what looked like immense rocky walls of a fortress. We followed the route that most people were taking, making our way through a narrow crevasse through the rocks. Now we were almost there. This is where the trails were not as apparent, and we had to watch how others were getting up to the peak. I went up first to find the best route, and then I would go back for Cassandra. After trying a few potential paths to the top, I finally found what looked like the best route, although it did require some careful climbing. Soon I was at the top, and the 360-degree view from up here of the beautiful city and surrounding area was beyond incredible. I took some time up here to savor this amazing moment and really appreciate what I was experiencing. Before going back to show Cassandra the best route, I had to make my way up to the highest point just to say I'd been to the top of Edinburgh. When I was up here, enjoying my moment, I looked down and saw Cassandra and decided it was time to go and get her so she could experience this too. So what did you think, Cassandra?
This was incredible, and I'm so glad you came back and got me, after you chose some paths.
Of course.
I was talking, I had actually found a friend to talk with, and
I didn't even know that.
No, but I made my way up there, and I couldn't come all the way to Edinburgh and not actually finish this.
Right.
And it was such a beautiful day. I think we were really lucky too. It was a clear, beautiful day.
It was, yeah. And you can see we got some selfies and got a lot of nice photos up there.
Oh, of course.
So we were so happy that we had the opportunity to do this today. It's a perfect day. It's beautiful. A little bit windy, a little bit chilly, but sunny, beautiful.
Yeah. It was time to start making our way back down the mountain now, because we still wanted to have some time in the city before the end of the day. Going down was much faster than climbing up, and the best part was that we had a chance to see all of these sweeping views one more time. It was a little tiring, but I'm so glad we did it.
Yep. Yep, it's an amazing day. So if you ever come out to Edinburgh, make sure you do this climb. It's not too hard. It's a little bit challenging, but if you're okay climbing stairs, walking up hills, things like that, it's worth it. You can take your time, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, actually, they're almost the path that we took, one side was like stairs and the other side was like a slope, so a flatter area. Yeah, so it was nice to have the choice on what felt good. And then I'm finding like on the way down what works best as well. But yeah, it's gorgeous. So we're about halfway down and we're going to make it back down to the city and hop on the bus and go see some more sights.
Yep. We hopped on a tour bus and got off near Waverley Station, the main train station in downtown Edinburgh. We crossed Waverley Bridge from Newtown to Old Town because we wanted to walk along the Royal Mile, the main road that runs from the Palace of Holyroodhouse near Holyrood Park and Arthur's Seat, all the way to Edinburgh Castle, the prominent castle in the heart of Edinburgh. Walking along Waverley Bridge, it isn't apparent that there's a major train station directly below us, but a quick peek over the wall shows us how large the station actually is, and how this valley divides the Old Town on the left and the New Town on the right, with the prominent Scott Tower standing tall. A bagpipe player set the perfect Scottish mood as we walked along a section of the Royal Mile toward Edinburgh Castle. This tall building with the pointed spire is now called the Hub, functioning as a public arts and events building. It was built between 1842 and 1845 as the Highland Tollbooth St. John's Church, but fell into disrepair and was renovated in 1999 to its current form.
We had plans to tour Edinburgh Castle the next day, so we wanted to walk to the end of the Royal Mile to try to get a preview of what we were going to see. From this direction, we couldn't get very close to the castle without having tickets, but we were still happy that we saw both ends of the Royal Mile on the same day. We also had beautiful views of the castle from very close to our hotel that we had seen earlier in the day. And then we decided to also come back out after dark to see the castle lights at night. In our next video, we will go up there, get close-up views of the castle, and look out over the city from the castle walls. We'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and watch one of our other videos shown on the screen. Thanks for traveling with us.